Hoje foi um encontro da Seção de Psicodrama da IAGP, que é a Associação Internacional de Psychotherapy de Grupo e Processos Grupais. É uma instituição internacional que permite troca de experiências entre diferentes culturas, diferentes abordagens teóricas. É um lugar que cabe todo mundo que trabalha com grupos. E o Yaacov é o coordenador da Seção de Psicodrama da IAGP. Então ele veio ao Brasil para um congresso e veio hoje aqui no DPSERES, que sediou essa reunião internacional. E ele veio com o objetivo principal de ouvir o que os brasileiros fazem, conhecer qual é o psicodrama que nós praticamos aqui no Brasil, porque o Brasil é o país que tem mais psicodramatistas no mundo. E com isso nós temos aqui uma diversidade enorme de experiências, de coisas acontecendo. Então o Yaacov veio aqui hoje para ouvir, levar a voz do que os brasileiros fazem a essa comunidade internacional.
Well, what brings together these two events, the event of tonight, of the meeting of IAGP Psychodrama section, together with the psychodramatists from Brazil, is the idea of creating bridges between cultures, between people, between groups, even if they are coming from another perspective. And this is connected to the workshop that I will be giving on Sunday, which is coming from my devotion or mission in my professional life or personal life, creating a dialogue with the enemies, so-called. In this work we realize that the enemy is not in the hands of the other. Actually, the enemy is inside of us. And we create inner enemies as a result of conflicts, as a result of transgenerational transmission of trauma, especially in the story of the Holocaust, which is where I'm coming from, because I'm a son of Holocaust survivors. And I went into Germany and met their children and grandchildren of the perpetrators of the former Nazis to learn about their process, their inner life, their feelings, and found out that there's not much difference between the victim story and the perpetrator story, because in both families we have this feeling of silencing and conspiracy of silence and putting under the carpet feelings of pain, which is also something that has to do with the story of Brazil, because Brazil is also carrying a lot of pain and a lot of suffering that is not openly talked everywhere. And therefore it's a good chance to bring this idea also here, that the dialogue can create a safe place for us to be accepted and recognize also the other at the same time. The purpose of this work is not to find reconciliation. This is not the purpose. Of course, sometimes reconciliation comes or happens, but we don't aim for that. The idea is to meet the other, to learn to respect the other, to see the other as a human being, and not not prejudice the other in a way of creating some kind of an image that is not true. Learning to see the other is so important for us, because in the media, in the newspapers, on television, we all the time hear what others are doing to us. For example, in Israel, we are in a conflict with the Palestinians, and we don't know the Palestinians as people, as human beings. So in my work with them, we created the psychodrama training, when Israelis and Palestinians meet each other, and they are so surprised to find out that the other has children, has parents, has grandparents, have tears, human beings like me. So in that sense, we create. I don't want to say reconciliation, but we create a dialogue. We create a space for the other to be accepted and respected without judgment or blaming. And it's difficult because, of course, it starts with blaming and the projection and many feelings of hatred and anger, because it comes from the history of both sides. But in the group, slowly, we become, I don't want to say friends, because it's not necessarily the idea of becoming friends, but we become more open to the story of the other. Well, psychodrama in Brazil is so powerful, and we can learn so much from what is happening here, and it's not a coincidence that it became so strong here, because psychodrama is a very social way of dealing with pain and suffering. And there's so many voices here that needs to be expressed, and psychodrama and sociodrama and playback theater and all the psychodramatic ways of dealing with conflicts and the aggression is so much needed here. And therefore Brazil can offer a lot to us in the world, and we hear many stories about how psychodrama is being used here as a way of allowing people to tell their story, because stories are being kept under the carpet, stories are being shut down, and people need here to tell their story. Many times I say that not just the woman who is being raped has a story to tell us, but also the rapist has a story. And we as psychotherapists, as group psychotherapists, we have to know that, and we have to understand it, that even the murderer has a story, maybe a painful story, a story that maybe goes from generation to generation, but it's not enough just to blame someone and put this person in prison. It's important to understand how this story, how this painful story goes from generation to generation, and how we can learn from it and stop it through education, especially through education. And psychodrama is a very strong and simple and human way of educating people to be in a group, to respect each other and not to be aggressive, and but to still express feelings, even anger. Happiness is something that we would all like to feel, but happiness is something that we need to aim towards, not something to reach. It's not something that you can say in one moment, I am now happy and that's it, and therefore I stop my efforts. Happiness for me is to be able to accept what I am doing right now. It's like in the moment to stand behind myself, to be loyal to myself, to be my own double, to be my own supportive double, to be able to say that what I have is good enough, that I'm trying my best. Not necessarily that I succeeded in all measures to be happy, but at least I did my best to come close to it, or to aim towards it. Happiness is not something to reach, it's something that you feel when you stand behind yourself, when you are loyal to yourself, when you are in your center, in your inner center.
O psicodrama é um método de trabalho que usa fundamentalmente a ação dramática para expressar a psicologia individual ou grupal. E nós podemos trabalhar com problemas psicológicos, com questões interpsíquicas e com questões relacionais e com questões comunitárias e sociais. O que, quando se trabalha no campo da psicologia, nós chamamos de psicodrama. Quando nós trabalhamos no campo dos grupos, da comunidade, nós chamamos sociodrama. E é um método ativo, participativo, onde cada um é o agente da sua própria expressão. Então, é uma coisa muito moderna, porque não tutela ninguém, faz com que as pessoas possam se expressar. E Yaacov, neste momento, ele está aqui como representante da Seção de Psicodrama do IAGP, que é a Associação Internacional de Psicoterapia de Grupo. E ele dirige, é o coordenador da Seção de Psicodrama do IAGP. Então ele veio aqui para nos informar a respeito do que ocorre no mundo e principalmente para saber o que ocorre no Brasil. E ficou profundamente encantado com a variedade, a profundidade e a quantidade de realizações psicodramáticas, seja na área da aplicabilidade, seja na área da construção teórica. Então nós estamos muito contentes, porque esse é um evento que nos coloca no mundo e que traz o mundo para nós.
Sim, eu trabalho com sonhos, porque sou analista junguiana, e trabalho com transgeneracional, el lavoro que explica la repetición familiar entre las generaciones. Mañana inicia una conferencia internacional con muitas pessoas de Portugal, Israel e Itália. Nós trabalhamos sul transgeneracional. Sou entusiasmada. Brasil é muito rico com psicodrama e com sociodrama. Aqui eu conheci o psicodrama público, o psicodrama na rua. É uma realidade muito diferente da Itália, porque aqui a componente política, sociodramática é mais forte. E eu creio que é um exemplo para a Europa. Importar la passione politica e lo sociodrama nella rua in Europa. Sì, in Europa e nel Medio Oriente ha molti problemi in Egitto, con problemi politici e la crisi economica in tutta l'Europa. Es importante trabajar con psicodrama, que el psicodrama es un método muy potente de grupos. É para curar uma pessoa e toda a sociedade.
Hoje tivemos aqui no DPCEDES em São Paulo essa reunião para discutir o que passa no psicodrama do Brasil. Tivemos aqui conosco o coordenador da secção de psicodrama da IAGP, Yaacov Naor, de Israel, e o objetivo foi aprender com os brasileiros o que estão fazendo, as pessoas que estavam presentes, claro, o que estão fazendo com o psicodrama e o sociodrama no Brasil.